Okay, so we're going to start on our backs, and we can do that with a blanket or a bolster underneath the back, but you can also use blocks, and I really like this sometimes for a little bit more specific targeting in between the shoulder blades. So this bottom block is going to be vertical, the top block horizontal, and you're going to just make like a T with some space there for your neck. And the positioning just depends on your own body, so you might have to adjust it a little bit here and there. If your head needs a little more support, you can lift this a little higher so that it's not flat. The horizontal block will then come up. And if that's too pokey for the head, you certainly can then place a blanket on top of it in any of those positions. But we do want to feel a little bit more of that outer rim of the block in between the shoulder blades here. So getting comfortable, we're going to have the upper spine relax into the earth. And again, that bolster goes right in between those shoulder blades. So find that sweet spot where it's not too uncomfortable for you. And then decide what's the best position for your neck. And we're actually going to start with our legs in Sukhasana, so just cross-legged. And the arms then are going to open up to the side. Palms face up. And then once everything feels like it's in position and you feel like you can relax there, that's the key. You don't want to be holding in any part of the body. Then just allow the eyes to close and let the body begin to settle around that prop. So you'll feel here the heart is really lifted, the sternum lifted, and then there's space opening up in the pectoralis major and minor muscles. The shoulders are sinking down away from the ears, and there's a heaviness through the arms and the backs of the hands. As long as there's no uncomfortableness, the legs are crossed in Sukhasana, and there's a gentle opening there for the hips. And you may even feel a slight elongation of the waist from the positioning of the block. And so bring your attention down into the belly and begin to just watch here the rise and fall of the abdomen. So each inhalation, the belly will fill with breath. And each exhalation, that belly button sinks back towards the spine. And then as you're breathing in this way, and really not rushing or shaping the breath, just allowing it to be at its own pace and rhythm, see if you can feel a gentle or soft ujjayi sound. So that ocean wave or whisper type sound to the breath, just slightly behind the movement of the breath. And just like waves coming in and going out, the breath moves at its organic pace and rhythm. And that ocean wave or whisper type sound to the breath is a really helpful tool for the mind. So it gives the mind something to focus on, but also it's very calming for the nervous system. Now, as the breath begins to deepen, you may find that it doesn't just stay there in the abdomen, but now it moves from the abdomen into the rib cage, and then exhaling, the abdomen moves towards the back body, and the rib cage draws a little closer together. We can consider that a two-part breath. So inhaling belly, then ribs, and exhaling belly and ribs. And as the breath begins to deepen, continue to relax the shoulders. So continue to soften the body around the frame of the prop. And here too, the breath may want to grow even further, so we might find that now we're moving from belly into rib cage and into chest. And that just deepens the back bend that's already there, spreading open the chest muscles even more, creating a sense of lightness. And exhaling, the navel will sink back to the spine, the rib cage comes a little closer together, and then the chest softens. And now we're at that 3-part breath. Again, still hearing and feeling Ujjayi sound. Now you may find that the breath is continuing to lengthen, and if you'd like, you can start to count the breath. So on the inhale, see how long that is. Counting at a steady rhythm and pace. And then exhale, and see if you can match the length of the exhale to the length of the inhale. Good, and then continue to breathe deeply, continue to relax the frame of the body. And notice if perhaps the breath can grow. So maybe you started at a 6-count breath, and you can increase that by 1, expanding to a 7 inhale, 7 exhale. And then with each following breath, see if you can continue to stretch it by 1. And just see how far you can go. There's no cap here. We're not going to stop at any particular count other than the time that we need to move on. So just take interest in how much room you can find with each and every breath. Continue to feel those 3 parts, belly, ribs, chest, exhaling belly, ribs, chest. So when we're working with this area of the body, particularly the heart, upper back, we're really talking about an energy that circulates there called Pran Vayu. And Pran Vayu is our ability to absorb, our ability to take in. So there is this quality of lightness and lifting, but it's more of an internalized lift. It's energetic, but calm. And discernment is very important, especially in this day and age, about what we're choosing to take in, as we really have a plethora of choices in front of us. And when we're breathing, we too can focus on what it is we're taking in. So while you continue to grow the breath, see if you can see and feel that you're absorbing prana. And for some of you who are more visual, it might be helpful to see prana as white light. And so as you're breathing in, you're absorbing that prana. You can actually see your cells receiving that energy. And then as you let the old air out, continue to keep the prana inside the body and just let the stale air leave. So still growing the breath as you inhale, belly, ribs, chest, drawing that prana into the body however you experience it. And then as you exhale, belly, ribs, chest, just slowly letting the old air out while you feel that that energy stays contained within the cells and the organs and the tissues. Just a few more rounds like this, please. All right, and then let this be your last breath. So again, matching the exhale to the length of the inhale. And then very slowly, you're just gonna bring some experience back into the fingertips by rubbing the thumb across them. Making sure the blood is flowing to the fingers. You can wiggle your toes a little bit here. And then we're gonna bring the feet flat, knees bent. And we're gonna go real slow to come off of these blocks. So what we're gonna do is like windshield wipers, knees go to the right, and then they go to the left. And then they go to the right and the left, and they keep going back and forth. Now, move the block with your head so that you have that support, and just slowly start to slide your body off of the block. And as you do, if you're really lucky, you might get a nice little massage there in between the shoulder blades, particularly those little trigger points that feels tender right at the corners of the block. At some point, you're not going to be able to use the block on the head anymore, so you can keep going. Keep slowly taking yourself off of that block. It feels really nice there. And then you really want to stop when you get to the 7th cervical vertebrae. So right when it gets to that little bony protrusion at the very bottom of the neck, it'll feel pretty uncomfortable too. You won't want to roll over it. And then at that point, you can take the blocks out of the way. And now, whatever your comfortable way is of crossing your legs, do the other way, so that we're going to balance the legs in Sukhasana, crossing them again here. And then just bring your hands together in front of your heart. Let your thumbs touch your sternum. And we'll set the intention for the practice today. So we're going to really work on absorbing and that Pran Vayu energy, bringing more of that into the body. And specifically, we're absorbing today more energy. We're in a time of acceleration. And so we expend quite a bit of energy out in the world. And even if we're not in a very busy part of our life, we're still expending a lot of energy just simply from the amount of information that's coming in. And it's worth questioning whether or not our nervous systems were really built for this amount of busyness. And what we have available to us right now is our yoga practice as a way to balance some of that energy. So we do want to absorb more prana so that we can handle what comes our way. So if there's anything right now in your life that's asking you to maybe fill your cup, give yourself a little bit more boost of energy, or perhaps you could even think about the discernment to choose wisely what you're taking in and what you want to leave behind. And bring all of that into your intention now in a personal way. And then place this in the heart and truly surround it with unconditional love. And then if the blocks are anywhere near you, just push them out to the side. We're going to bring the arms down by our sides, palms facing down. And just inhale, the arms reach up overhead. And feel that lift through the torso, so that expansion of the front body, opening up the fascia there. And then exhale, slowly bring the arms down. And now, even though we had a very long count there when we were opening, we're going to stick with a 6-6 breath. So inhaling for 6 counts, all the way to the peak, belly, ribs, chest. And then exhaling for 6 counts, arms come down by your side, all the way down. Good. Now, let's stretch that to 7. Inhaling, 7 counts. Arms are going to reach up over the head. So actually the body begins to move a little slower in order to accommodate the length. And then exhale 7 counts as the arms come back down. Good. Moving on to 8. And exhale 8. Good. See if you can go to 9. Inhaling 9, really feel that front body, slow the arms down a little bit more. And make sure to contract the abdomen as you begin that exhale. So really hug the navel back towards the spine as you come to those 9 counts. The fingers will rest fully on the floor. Let's see if you can stretch to 10. And then exhale 10. Good. Now from here, we're going to take the arms over the head. Keep the palms facing up this time. And as you exhale, you're going to bend your elbows out wide. And you want to engage the muscles of the side body. So squeeze the elbows in like scarecrow arms. And then inhale, reach them back up again. So you're just sliding up and down on the floor. Exhale, squeeze the elbows. See if you could get them all the way towards the rib cage, as close as you can get. And then inhale the arms over the head again. This is really nice for opening up that upper back. Exhale. Squeeze the elbows in. Inhale. Exhale. Last one after this. It's nice if you're on some hardwood, you can slide a little easier. Exhale, squeeze. Feel that depression of the shoulders, opening up of the shoulder blades. And then we're going to keep the arms over the head. Take just the right arm down to your side. And you're actually going to move your torso over to the right. So you're making like a half moon shape with the body. And then curling over to that right side, you're just going to keep that arm over the head. Make sure that both hips feel anchored to the floor. And breathe into this lateral stretch. See if you can very slightly rotate the navel to the left. And even hollowing out the belly at the bottom of the exhalation might access not just the laterals here, but also so a little deeper, perhaps getting into the psoas a bit, where many of us tend to hold a lot of tension. Good. One more full breath here. And then exhale, you're going to slowly bring the arm down. You're going to square your torso back off on your mat. And then we'll do the other side. So now the left arm is down by your side. Inhale the right arm up. And now take the upper body over like a half moon shape here. And if you curve over to the left side, you're going to feel that right hip anchor deeply into the floor. Good. And then see that stretch opening up the side body and send the breath in there. All that prana you're taking in, let it get into the areas that are usually closed off or tight. Again, continue to hollow out the belly so you feel that not just the laterals are stretching, but you're accessing some of the deeper core muscles here. Navel rotates slightly to the right. And then gently come back to center and square yourself back off on the mat. Good. Let's bring the hands to the knees, knees to the chest, and just rock a little bit from side to side on the spine. And just feel that nice massage there as you stay heavy through the hips. Good. With the hands underneath the knees, we're going to roll all the way up into a seated position. So using momentum, coming up into that seated position and right into tabletop. So the hands will be under the shoulders, the knees will be under the hips, and the tops of the feet are going to press firmly into the floor. On your inhalation, lift the heart, lift the sit bones, look up. On the exhalation, stay in tabletop and just pull the navel deeply into the spine and push down into the hands, knees, and feet. And do it again. Inhale, heart lift, sit bones lift, expanding through the front body. And then exhale, push down into the hands, the knees, and feet. Navel towards the back body. Good. Keep going. Inhaling and exhaling. So moving from cat to cow. And just feeling those undulations of the spine and how they really open up the vertebrae. So creating some space there in between those bones. Notice how you can use the musculature to deepen the experience. And last one here. Good, now lift the heart, lift the sit bones, look up and tuck the toes, find downward facing dog. And we'll start our down dog here by pedaling the feet. So bend one knee, press the other heel down. As that heel's grounding, lift up and back with the sit bone, really lengthening out the back of the leg. Just notice where the tension is. Is it in the calf, in the hamstrings, in the whole leg, maybe the foot? And then switch sides. Bend the other knee and press the other heel down and just kind of feel what's in there today. Is the right side tighter than the left? And then if you want to go back and forth a couple more times, again, like you're pedaling a bike. And we're going to do that same kind of movement here in the upper back. So let's stabilize the feet by bringing them hip distance apart. Turn the toes in slightly, heels out, roll the inner thighs in and back. Now in the upper body, we're going to bend the elbows slightly out wide, then squeeze the inner elbows toward one another and push down into the hands, drawing the chest closer to the thighs. We'll do that a few times. It'll help to stretch the shoulder blades. So bend the elbows out wide, squeeze the inner elbows toward one another, and then press into the hands and draw the chest closer to the thigh. One more. And then hold that position. Let the head and neck really hang, so soften there. Make sure the muscles of the legs are firm so they hold the weight of the body, and then the navel draws that belly button in and up, providing more support there for the spine. Last 2 full breaths here. And then come onto the balls of your feet and just bend your knees. Look at your hands. Step forward to your fingertips and open the feet hip distance apart. Keep a little micro bend in the knees. Just offer that chest a little closer to the thighs. And then from here, we're going to sweep the hands behind us, interlace the fingers, and take the knuckles up and away from you. So just stretching out into Yoga Mudra. And if you want to floss the shoulder blades a little bit there, you can draw the hands towards the towards the sacrum, and then pull them further away. And as you go back and forth, you can feel how it moves through those big muscles in the shoulders. Good. One more full breath here. And then keep the arms in Yoga Mudra over the head and just straighten the right leg while you bend the left knee. And let the weight of the upper body sink over that leg. Maybe you even feel the shoulders release a little more. And then switch. Bend the other knee. Keep the other leg straight. And again, really soften through the upper body. Let everything surrender. And then come back to center. Little micro bend in both knees, or if you're feeling comfortable to keep them straight, go ahead. And just slide your hands down the backs of the legs. So we're going to either hook the index middle thumb around the big toe, or you can have your hands on your shins and just slide up and down the shins for some dynamic monkey. So you're going to inhale, pull your chest away from the thighs, straighten the arms, straighten the spine, and only if you can, straighten the legs. And then exhale, bend the knees, bend the elbows, and relax the head and neck. Do it again. Inhale, pull away. So as the sternum moves away from the pubic bone, the shoulders are moving down the back. And then as you exhale, the navel goes deeply underneath the rib cage, hollowing out the belly. Again, inhale, pull away. Elongate the torso. Create as much space and room as you can, flattening that thoracic curve. And then exhale, the navel comes in. Forward fold. 2 more. Big, full, complete breaths. Remember that the length of the breath is equal. So maybe maintaining that 6-6, 7-7, or maybe even 8-8. And when we finish the last one, we're going to bring hands to hips. Scoop the heart to halfway. Feel that strength of the upper back. Now, you can keep that micro bend in the knee. You can keep the legs straight, but bring the body weight right over the center of the foot. And if you want, you can extend the arms out wide. And any of that tension that likes to hover there in the back of the heart, just send it out through the fingertips. Let go of that congestion. Breathing deeply here. Navel hugs the back body. Turn the palms up, press into the feet. Reach the arms up and over the head. And then exhale, turn the palms down and bring them down by your side. And just for a moment, stand in Samastiti. Just here for a moment, resting and taking in all the work that you've already done, even if it feels gentle. All right, so we're going to stay here, standing mountain pose, and just move into half moon. So right hand onto the thigh, inhale, the left arm lifts up, elongate that left side body, and now lean to your right. And just slide the right hand down the leg. Press into the outside edge of your left foot, absorb the tailbone into the body, and draw the navel in and up for support. And just feel that opening of the side body, similar to what we did on the floor here, but now it's a little bit more muscular action. It's not so passive. Good. And then inhale, come back up. Lower that left hand down to the floor. Inhale the right arm up. Get as long as you can through the side body, and now slide that left hand down the side. And press to the outside edge of the right foot, absorbing the tailbone in and lifting the lower belly. So you feel nice and secure here. You don't want to feel that in your lower back. And it's not so much about how far you can bend over, but think of it more like how much length and space can you get along the right side. Send the breath in there. Get prana to those areas that were tight. And then slowly come back up, inhaling, and exhale the arm down by your side. Good. Just take that in. All right, we're going to start at the front of our mats for some sun salutations. And the big toes are touching, space between the heels, hands together in front of the heart. This is a Sri Dharma Mitra sun salutation. Inhale, the arms reach up. And exhale, forward fold, navel to spine. Step the right leg back, lower the knee down, top of the foot, and inhale up for low lunge. And then exhale, step the front foot back, for downward facing dog. Now, right leg is going to step forward to the fingertips. Spin the back foot flat for warrior one. And inhale as you rise. So hips are squared, arms reach up over the head. And then exhale, step back to plank position. We're going to modify the vinyasa to start. So bring knees to floor. Squeeze the elbows tight into the side as the belly comes down. Tops of the feet ground. Inhale, halfway up for cobra. And exhale to downward facing dog. That same leg is going to move. So bring the right leg forward to the fingertips. Lower the left knee down and inhale, the arms reach for low lunge. And then exhale, step the back foot forward, standing forward fold. Navel to spine. Inhale, the arms reach up wide as you lift and rise. And exhale, hands to heart. Let's do the left side. Inhale, reach. Exhale, forward fold, navel to spine. Left leg goes back. Lower the knee down, top of the foot. Inhale, the arms reach up. Exhale, step back to downward facing dog. Left leg comes forward. Spin the back foot flat, bend the front knee. Arms reach, warrior one. Hips are squared forward. And then exhale to plank position. Again, we can modify. Knees to floor. Squeeze the elbows tight as you come down. Inhale, cobra or up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Left leg is going to come forward. Right knee to the floor. Inhale as you rise, low lunge. And exhale, step the back foot forward, standing forward fold. Inhale, arms reach out wide. Lift and rise all the way up. And exhale, arms down by your side and to your heart. So that's one complete round. Let's do that again. Inhale, reach. Exhale, forward fold. Starting on the right leg again, right leg back, low lunge. Inhale. And exhale, step back to downward facing dog. Inhale to plank position, and you can leave the knees lifted this time for chaturanga. Squeeze the elbows tight. Inhaling right up into cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Right leg forward, left knee to the floor. Inhale as you rise. And exhale, step the back foot forward, standing forward fold. Inhale, lift and rise. And exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Left leg goes back, low lunge. Inhale. And exhale to downward facing dog. So left leg forward. Spin the back foot flat. Arms reach. I think I missed the other side. Apologize for that. And then exhale, plank position. Chaturanga, knees are lifted. Inhale, rolling over the toes for up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Left leg steps forward, right knee down. Inhale, low lunge. And exhale, step the back foot forward, standing forward fold. Inhale, lift and rise all the way up. And exhale, heart. Again, inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Right leg back, low lunge. Inhale. Exhale, down dog. Same leg moves. Right forward for warrior one. Inhale. And exhale, plank. Vinyasa your way. And then right leg forward for low lunge. Inhale. Exhale, step forward, standing forward fold. Inhale, lift and rise. And exhale, hands to heart. Last time, left side, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Left leg back, low lunge. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left leg forward. Spin the back foot flat for warrior one on this side. And exhale, plank position. Again, vinyasa your way. And then left leg forward, low lunge. Inhale. Exhale, step forward, standing forward fold. Inhale, lift and rise. And exhale, hands to heart. And now just be here for a moment. Arms by your side, feel the heart beating. That particular sun salutation is continually moving. So we do get a little bit more of that cardio, that heart beating quickly. And it's interesting to watch the process of slowing it back down again. And as you're able to then deepen the breath, see and feel that more breath is being absorbed into the body. It's like the cells are actually hungry or thirsty for the oxygen. Good, one more here. And then we'll start at the front of the mats. Big toes are touching space between the heels, hands together in front of the heart. So if you're newer to the practice and you want a little bit more stability for a chair pose, you can certainly take the block between your inner thighs and squeeze the block. So either way is fine. Hands together in front of the heart. Inhale, reach. Exhale, you're going to sink into chair. Stay for the inhale. Lower the shoulders, tailbone absorbs under, lower belly lifts. Exhale, forward fold over the bent knees. Let your upper back really soften, head and neck releases. Inhale, lean back to chair. Feel that opening of the upper back, flattening that thoracic curve. Exhale, contract the abdomen, fold over the bent knees. Inhale, lean back. Now let's see if we can expand the breath and our capacity here. So exhale for 6. And then inhale for 6. And then exhale for 7. And inhale for 7. Exhale for 8. Really pull that navel back, slow down. And inhale for 8. Exhale for 9. And inhale for 9. And now slowly straighten the front legs. Exhale, arms by your side. And then just rest and feel the warmth and the heat. And again, that absorption, bringing it deeper into the body. Good. Releasing the block if it was still there. Big toes touching, space between the heels, hands together in front of the heart. Inhale, the arms reach up. And exhale, forward fold navel to spine. Right leg back, lower the knee down, top of the foot, and inhale up for low lunge. Now in low lunge, absorb the tailbone in, lift the lower belly, and stay upright here. And really feel that the more you create that straight spine and absorb the tailbone and lift the lower belly, you feel the stretch more in the belly of the thigh. So we're going to inhale here, exhale, the left arm's going to stay down on the thigh, and then inhale, reach the right arm a little longer. So there's that lateral stretch again. And now exhale, bend into the lunge, and let the fingertips reach towards the floor, but they don't have to touch. And now inhale, as you come back up again, see if you can get back into the belly of that thigh. And do it again, exhale. Sink down, fingers reach. Inhale. Again, exhale. Inhale. One more. Exhale. Inhale. Now, we're going to keep all this length you have along the side body. Left hand stays on the thigh. You're going to pull the right elbow over and set it on top of that thigh. And you can make a fist with your bottom hand, cup it with the top hand, and tuck the back toes under if you want to go a little deeper and straighten that back leg. So now we're going to twist. Inhale, grow as long as you can through the spine. So crown away from tailbone. Exhale, hug the navel towards the back body and rotate a little deeper to the left. And keep going. Inhale, even more length and space. Exhale, even more rotation. Certainly you can keep that knee down if you need that for support. That's perfectly fine. Some of you may be able to actually take the armpit over the thigh, fingertips to the floor, and the left arm lifts for a slightly deeper twist. Continue to breathe. Two more. Keep anchoring into that back foot. Lift that thigh just a little bit more. And then gently come back down. Unwind, and now flip your mat over if you didn't do it already. And tuck your back toes under, and now just sit back on that heel. And let the upper body soften over the left leg. And feel that stretch there, all that warmth you just created, opening up the back of the thigh. Head and neck is released, heart dips forward through the shoulders. One more full breath here. Pull the pinky toe side of that foot back. And then come back into the lunge one more time. And here's where you definitely want padding under your knee. So either the rolled up mat or you can use a blanket if you have it. We're going to take the heel of our left hand and push it towards our front knee. So that's going to provide a little more stability on this left side of the body. Then you're going to bend the back knee and grab onto the top of the foot with the hand and draw the heel to the glute. So it doesn't matter how far that heel goes. Find your stability. Find a gazing point either at the floor in front of you, but more ideally at the horizon. And then if you've got a little more flexibility, grab onto the foot with both hands. And as you draw the heel closer to the glute, see if you can lift the shoulders, rather the sternum, further away from the shoulders. So it's like puffing up the heart. And then just continue to breathe all that room we've been creating there in the upper body. Find some awareness there of the inner thighs for support as they hug the midline, keeping you stable. And then the last stage, and this is optional, is if you have both hands on the feet, you can interlace the fingers, cross the thumb across the sole of the foot, and now actually lift the heart away and let the shoulders stretch. And making it even more of a back bend here. Again, gaze is steady. 2 more breaths. Absorb that prana. And then come back out of that. Watch the slingshot effect. So just gently place the foot back down, undo the mat, step back to downward facing dog. In down dog, take your big toes to the outside edges of your mat so you have a wider stance, and lift your hips as high as you can. So we want to create even more elongation through the waist. Let the heart feel free to just soften through the shoulders, and head and neck is completely relaxed. Full breaths here. Navel sinks towards the back body on exhalation. One more. And then come back to center. And now we're going to lunge the right foot forward to the fingertips and lower the left knee down. And inhale, the arms reach up for low lunge. So here we're in low lunge on this side. And again, really absorb the tailbone in, lift the lower belly so that we feel the thigh not on the top by the hip. We want to feel it down into the belly of the muscle. So if each arms are reaching up overhead, we're just going to bring the right hand down and set it on top of the thigh. Inhale the left arm longer, so you want that elongation through the lateral. Exhale now, you're going to sink into the lunge. Let the fingers reach towards the floor, but they don't have to touch. And then as you inhale, come back up, reabsorb that tailbone into the body. Pull the lower belly in and up. Get a little more height and lift through the inner core. And do it again. Exhale, sink into the pose. Inhale, lifting really from the pelvic floor up through the abdomen, up through the heart. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And just one more here. Exhaling down. Inhaling up. And now we're going to take this left elbow to the outside of the right thigh. And you can make a fist with your bottom hand, you can cup with the top, and you're going to rotate the navel to the right. And those of you feeling just a little stronger today, just tuck the back toes under and straighten the back leg. And breathe deeply here. Now, each inhalation, you have opportunity to get a little longer. Filling those lungs with breath. And then as you exhale, navel hugs in and you rotate deeper to the right. Inhale longer. Exhale, rotate deeper. Of course, if you have to bring that knee down, you can have it down for support. And if you've got the flexibility, the the armpit goes over the thigh, fingertips to the floor, and the right arm lifts. Last 2 breaths. And then gently come down out of that, unwind. And then you're going to tuck the back toes under, sit back on that back heel and flex the right foot. And now all that warmth we just created, just feel it moving right into the back of the leg and just open up there. See if you can pull the pinky toe side of the foot back. So if you're tight in that outer leg, you'll find that that pinky toe is key here. Navel hugs the back body on exhale. Make sure the heart just feels like it's softening through the shoulders, not rounding the upper back. And then we're going to come forward again. And here, if you want to have that extra padding under your knee, please flip the mat over. or you'd really want to have that blanket there for support. And then heel of your right hand now goes into the front knee. So you're pushing that front knee forward. It doesn't really move, it's just the arm becomes like a kickstand for the body. And then bend the back knee, grab onto the top of that foot with the hand, and then draw the heel to the glute. Again, tailbone absorbs in, lower belly lifts. Create some stability, gaze at the floor or at the horizon. Long, deep breaths. Keep expanding the heart. Now, if you've got that flexibility, grab onto the top of the foot with both hands. See if maybe you can draw the heel a little closer. And as you do, the sternum pushes forward slightly, stretching into those chest muscles. As you feel the widening of the heart, fill that with breath. So really work on getting the prana into that region. This is Ardha Ustrasana, half camel. And then you want to take that last version. You can interlace the fingers around the foot. And then the thumbs go across the pad of the foot. And you got a nice good bind there. Then you can let the heart come forward. You can deepen the lunge. You can stretch into the shoulders. Breathing here. Last two. And then gently unwind. Watch that slingshot effect. We're going to step back to down dog. And again, take the feet wide. So big toes go to the outside edges of your mat. And then push the hips up and back. And let the spine be as long as it possibly can. Let the head and neck be relaxed. Do hug the heads of the shoulders into their sockets. Hug the inner elbows like they were squeezing a block between them. And then see if you can lift that tailbone just a little higher. Just feeling a little bit more stretch in the back of the legs. Head and neck is relaxed. Each exhale takes that navel deeper into the spine. And last breath here. We're going to walk the feet back in, and then now this time walk our hands towards our feet. So go nice and slow, one at a time, walking all the way back to the feet, and then let the head and neck just hang in forward fold. And you can still have a micro bend in your knee if that helps take pressure off of your lower back. Feel the body soften in this position. Give into the stretch. Watch the tendency to want to roll to the outside of the foot, so feel the inner foot. And now arms out wide. Press equally into the feet. Inhale. You're going to reach all the way up. Arms touch. Palms touch. Exhale. Just down by your side. And once again, Samastiti. So taking in sensation. And notice, do you feel heavier or lighter? Do you feel more externalized or more internalized? Now, if we're doing these practices correctly, we're getting this Pran Vayu to activate. And so we're feeling that upliftment and yet internalization. All right, so we're going to stay here at the back of our mats for a little bit of a warrior one variation. So you're going to turn your left toes out to a slight angle and step the right foot forward to a comfortable distance. And you can have about 3.5, 4 feet. You can go a little longer here for warrior one than we do for pyramid. But we want to keep the hips squared forward. That's the key. So I really like stepping from the back because then we can have our feet in the position that is necessary for our own hip structure. So we're going to start with our hands in front of our heart. And then we're going to bend into the front knee and inhale, the arms reach up. In warrior one. Exhale, now bend the elbows out wide and lift the sternum. And then bring the hands back to the heart as you inhale. And then exhale, turn the palms up, almost like you were serving somebody. And then repeat it again. Inhale, the arms reach up. And now exhale, bend the elbows out wide. Let the sternum lift. Inhale, bring the hands to the heart. Contract the abdomen. And then exhale like you're serving. Good. Again, inhale. Exhale, elbows out wide. Inhale to the heart. Exhale, serving. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale, out wide. Inhale. Hands to heart. Exhale, serving. Last one. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Inhale, arms up. And exhale to the heart. Keep the hands at the heart and step the front foot back. Find Samastiti. Feet balanced, arms by your side. Notice any changes in the right leg versus the left, right side of the body versus the left. Other side, we're going to turn the right toes out now. Step the left foot forward to a comfortable distance. I might go just a little longer, so get a little bit more out of that warrior one. Hips are squared forward. Hands start in front of the heart. Bend into the front knee. Inhale, the arms reach up. Exhale, bend the elbows out wide. Inhale, the hands to the heart. Exhale like you're serving. Palms are facing up. Inhale, lift. Okay, so you know how this goes. 4 more rounds. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Stay firm in that back heel. Gaze is steady. Got 2 more full rounds. Really growing sensitive to feeling what you're experiencing. On the last one, you're going to inhale the arms up and exhale them to your heart. And then step back to the back of the mat. And then have the feet hip distance apart, arms by your side. And just rest. Eyes closed or soft gaze. Feeling that quality of pran. All right, inhale, the arms reach up. Let's just be here at the back of the mat. Exhale, forward fold, navel to spine. And now inhale into monkey pose. So flat back, hands on the shins or floor, your choice. And then exhale to plank position. Inhale here and hug the navel toward the back body. Exhale, you're either bringing the knees down or keeping them lifted for chaturanga. Inhale then into cobra or up dog. And exhale to downward facing dog. And we'll take 5 breaths here. And you can either keep the feet in the position we've been in, or if you'd like to open the toes out wide, you can expand the down dog just a little bit. Helps to reduce a little more of that thoracic curve. Good, 3 more breaths. Navel hugs the back body on exhale. And then walk the feet back in. Walk your hands to the back of your mat one more time. Standing forward fold. Inhale, lift and rise all the way up, full breath in. And exhale, hands to the heart. All right, so we're going to move into a variation of Warrior 3. If you need some support for Warrior 3, you're certainly welcome to take your blocks, and we're going to put them a little bit towards the front of the mat since we're here at the back. So we're going to step the left leg forward, bring the hands together in front of the heart, and 1, 2, 3, we're going to lean into Warrior 3. So you're flexing the heel of the back foot. Now you've got a lot of options for the arms here. So hands at the heart's a little more stable. Also reaching back behind you is nice because it helps to keep the chest open and expands the heart a little more. Breathing deeply here, we want to feel stable, navel hugging the back body. If you're using the blocks, fingers are just down on the blocks for support. Now you want to keep an internal rotation of that upper thigh, flex through the heel of the foot and reach the crown away from the heel. So you're finding more and more room in the vertebrae. And then that room is creating a feeling of extension. So a couple more breaths here, just a few more. And then slowly come up, but without touching that foot to the floor, can you grab onto the top of the foot again, maybe one hand or both hands, and then keep the knees in towards the midline and hug the heel of the glute. Hug the heel, to the glute. And then we're going to just lean forward one more time. Just see how far you can go. How far, till that hip wants to start popping open. Good, and then inhale, come up. And release. Shake out the feet if you need to from the balance. And just find Samastiti. Take a moment. All right, so here now, we'll step back a little bit from our blocks. We'll step the left foot into that little hole, hands together in front of the heart. And 1, 2, 3. Oops, I think I did this side last time. Right foot forward, rather. 1, 2, 3, come forward into Warrior 3. So flexing the left foot this time. Again, you can choose the position that best serves you. I like hands at the heart for a little more stability. I also like reaching the fingers towards the back heel. That really helps to keep that heart open. Again, if you're on the blocks, fingertips are down. This gives you a lot more support, so you can really work on lifting the inner thigh of that back leg, flexing the heel of the foot. Create as much length in the spine. Try to avoid rounding the upper back. And sometimes, if I'm really feeling shaky, a little bit of a micro bend in my knee will help to create just a bit more stability. I'm relying a little bit more on the muscle strength there. And then breathing deeply. Right into the heart. And then slowly come up, but try not to touch that foot to the floor. See if you can grab onto it with one hand or both hands, whatever is available to you. And then a little micro bend in the front knee and just kind of lean and see what you can get. Just see how far your body can go. What we want to avoid is that popping open of the hip. So the knee kind of hugs that midline. And slowly come up and shake it out. Samastiti. Again, energized but internalized. All right, we'll clear the blocks if they were still on your mat off to the side. And if you happen to have a blanket, you may want to place that down near the top of your mat. If you don't want to use a blanket, you certainly can just flip your mat over, and that will give you a little extra padding here. So inhale, the arms reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway to monkey pose, flat back, and exhale, forward fold. Bringing the fingertips to the floor, we're going to bend both knees down onto the blanket or onto our flipped over mat. Come up into standing on your knees and tuck your back toes under. So we're going to set ourselves up for Ustrasana, camel. Now, if you would like, some people like to put a block between the ankles. Helps them to remember to squeeze that. That's a really nice support system there. So if you like that, do that. Well, we're going to start dynamically. Fingertips are going to point up the back. Elbows squeeze toward the midline. Inhale, absorb the tailbone in, lift the lower belly and lean back with the chest. Exhale, contract your abdomen, hugging the lower ribs towards the pubic bone to come back up. Do that again. Inhale, lean back. Create length along the spine as you move into the back bend. And now exhale, squeeze like you're touching the low ribs to the pubic bone. Good. Again, inhale. Exhale, contracting that abdomen. 2 more. Last one. Now, in this one, if you want, you can stay here. Hands can stay on the hips. If you've got the flexibility, you can reach back and grab the heels. If you have to lean back to do that, make sure that you push the hips forward one more time, as if your hips were right up against a wall. Now, it's easy to want to hold the breath here, so see if you can relax the front body and create flexibility and room for the ribs to open and take in more breath. Visualize that prana coming into every cell, tissue, organ. Two more. Last breath here. And then now use your sternum to pull the chest forward. If your block was there, take it out of the way. Sit back on your heels. And now just absorbing the tailbone in and lifting the lower belly feels like a little bit of a forward bend. So we're taking out that lumbar curve. Rest here, let your breath settle. And when it settles, go back to that slow, deep breathing. Belly, ribs, chest, exhaling, belly, ribs, chest. One more. Good. So coming forward into tabletop position, if your mat was flipped, you're going to want to release that. We're just going to stay here for a moment in tabletop position and actually do a little bit of core stabilizing. So inhale, the right arm, left leg extends out. Exhale, hug the knee into the chest, elbow into the knee. We're not going to do too many. Inhale, extend out. Exhale, hug the back body. Inhale, one more. And exhale, navel to spine. Good. Switch it out, other side. Left arm, right leg. Exhale. So this is just creating a little bit of counterposing to what we just did. Inhale. Exhale, hug it in. One more. Inhale. Exhale. And tabletop position. Good. From tabletop position, can you lunge your right foot forward to your fingertips? You're going to want to have your block or your bolster or your blanket nearby. Blanket would be ideal. We're going to take this right foot and heel toe it past your left wrist. And then bring the knee down to the floor. Now, if that foot slides back, that's okay. That's actually, we just want to honor whatever position the hip wants to place the knee in. We don't want to force the shin to be in alignment with the top of the mat. That's incorrect alignment, really dangerous for the knee. Take the blanket, put it underneath your hip. Fingertips in a finger stand. Inhale, lift the sternum, elongate the front body. And then exhale, we're going to walk forward, elbows down into the mat to start. If you have your block nearby, you can rest your forehead onto that block. It's very nice to keep the neck neutral. Now, keep allowing that right hip to soften down. As the body gives in, finding new space to explore. Maybe you can make your block flat if it's not already. And the nervous system slows down. Maybe you can take that both props out at some point as the body gives in, or just leave them there if they feel like they're supporting you. The upper body, it's nice and soft here. Keep feeling the pull of gravity. And forward folds are so great for that feeling of letting go, that elimination. So if there's anything standing in the way of you being able to absorb as much from your experiences, as much from your prana as possible, then let them go here. Good. 2 more breaths. And then slowly walk your hands back up. You can take the blanket out from behind you. Tuck your back toes under. Find downward facing dog. If you want to take the leg up in the air, maybe rotate the ankle a little bit. Just let the blood drain out. And eventually bringing that leg back down into downward facing dog. Notice the quality of the nervous system and the mind here. And keeping that internalization, we're just going to lunge the left foot forward to the fingertips and lower the right knee down. So here, we're just going to do the other side. You're going to heel toe that foot to the outside of the right wrist and then bring the left knee down. If this shin wants to slip back, that's just because of the tension in your hips, and then you want to honor that. So tuck your back toes under, straighten the back leg, lower the hips down, and now use your block if that's all you have, blanket if you have it, even bolster's fine as long as it's not too high. Fingers in a finger stand, lift the heart. And now walk forward with the heart lifted, coming all the way onto the forearms. Top of that back foot can ground. And then again, if you have that block, you can place it underneath your forehead. It's very nice to just feel relaxed here. Not have to do anything with the head and neck. And just watch that process as the body gives in. So continue to soften, continue to shift, and make the adjustments as you acclimate. And then maybe at some point you can take the props out entirely and just continue to surrender into the earth. And as you're letting go, just think of that elimination. Anything that's standing in your way of absorbing prana, of being your highest and best self, just releasing that here. And then slowly walk your hands back. Move the props out of the way. Tuck the back toes under. Lift the left leg up and back. Just kind of roll that ankle, let the blood drain out, and make your way back into downward facing dog. Hold down dog. Navel hugs the back body for support. And just feel all that space, quiet and calm nervous system. And then bring the knees to the floor. And once again, sit tall on your heels. And you can just rest your hands in your lap if you'd like. So left hand under the belly, right hand on top, thumbs touch, Dhyana Mudra, or you can have opposite for men. And still absorb that tailbone in and lift the lower belly again to reduce some of that lumbar curve of the spine. I know when we walk around in a world with so much busyness that we're constantly externalized. And what's really sad about that is that our wisdom, our inner knowing, requires that we have some level of internalization. And it's not just the superficial, rapid thoughts of the mind, or rather the analytical mind. We hear those all the time. It's the kind of knowing that requires silence and stillness and an internal peace. So one more breath here, resting in that. And now bring your hips to one side and your legs out in front of you for Dandasana staff pose. So legs are going to be straight internally. Rotate your thighs in and down. So hands beside the hips, flexing the feet, keeping the legs nice and firm, staff pose, and just press as much as you can into the palms. Even if the heels don't fully touch, you got shorter arms, that's okay. And then if you've got longer arms, you're just going to slide your hands back a bit. You ever press that tailbone away from the crown of the head. Again, think of that height, that length through the spine. And we're just going to move dynamically here. So we're going to inhale, the arms reach up. And now exhale, slowly forward fold. And it doesn't even matter how far you go. And then slide your hands back. Let your head and neck be soft. Roll through the spine. And then inhale, sweep the arms up again. Keep the legs firm. Exhale, lengthen the heart forward. Slide the hands along the earth. Head and neck is released. Inhale, lift again. 3 more like this, very organic with your breath. Keep hugging the navel toward the back body. Last one. Now this time as you come down, you're going to stay. So you're going to lengthen as far as you can, hinging from those hips, and then hands meet anything it lands on. So if it's feet, great, ankles, shins, maybe just floor. You want them to touch something. Head and neck is relaxed. Now we're going to do what is called a sthiti. So it doesn't matter which position your hands are in. You're going to inhale like you were in monkey pose and lift your sternum as far away from your pubic bone as you can. You can even wiggle in that space a little bit, and then exhale and melt more fully over the legs. And repeat that. Inhale like a monkey pose. You're going to lift the heart a little further, create a little more length in the waist, and then melt into that new space. One more. Inhale, lift. Elongate as much room as you can find here, and the navel way back as you melt. And now just stay. And again, whatever position you have for your hands, that's perfectly fine. Those of you with a little more flexibility can reach around the feet. And as you do, you can grab for the wrist. Keep surrendering, keep softening. Good, 3 more breaths. Let go on that exhale. Very nice. And then reach the arms in alignment with your ears and really activate your back. Even though you're so relaxed, you don't want to do that, but do that, engaging the back muscles so that you can feel a slight contraction there. And then keep reaching the arms as far back behind you as you can so you feel the muscles engaging, just reminding them to stay strong for you until you slide them all the way back into Dandasana, flexing the feet again, making sure the legs are firm. All right, and then we're going to scoot down onto our backs. So hug the knees in here. And just make sure that the back is happy. You're going to keep the arms by your side. And inhale, take the arms over the head, flex the feet to the ceiling. And then exhale, bring the hands down, knees down. Inhale, arms overhead, flex the soles of the feet to the ceiling. And exhale. Just that, again, very subtle but very gentle massage of the upper back into the earth. Just that nice rounding there. Exhale. One more. Good, and then we're just going to hug the knees as deeply as you can. So I want you to really pull them close to the chest, and then to the best of your ability, keep them that way as you roll to your left. So they're as close to your chest as possible. And now, holding the knees there, open just the right arm up to the right, and let the navel just rotate as deeply as it can towards the right side. So with the knees closer to the chest like that, we're getting a little more length there in the lumbar spine. Keep softening the right shoulder. And then come back to center. Now knees again as close to the chest as you can get them. You can even hug them in a little bit. And now keep them as close to the chest as possible as you curl to the right side. And now the left arm opens up and rotating there. And again, surrendering and twisting the navel as deeply to the left as you can. Just let go. And then slowly come back. Keep the knees close. One more final hug here in center, just symmetrical. And then take the legs to the floor and prepare for Shavasana. So if it's cool in your room, put your sweaters on, your socks on. You want your body temperature to cool down slowly. If you have a lot of light in your room, you may want to place an eye pillow over your eyes just to block out the light. We did a good job preparing for Shavasana today, so just let the arms come down by your side, palms face up, feet a little wider than hip distance apart. And then just feel the whole body sinking into the earth. Letting go of any residual effort, any trying. Now begin to see the breath coming in at its own pacing, so you don't have to do anything to control it, just its own pace. But notice if that quality of lightness and yet internalization is still present in the body, maybe the mind. That there's a sense of being completely relaxed, and yet there's energy moving through the system, alive and vibrant and inspired. So very slowly start to deepen your breath. And as the breath deepens, move fingers and toes, roll wrists and ankles. And just gradually bring the knees back into the chest. You just curl a little bit from side to side on the spine. And roll over onto your right side into fetal position. Place your arm under your head as a pillow. Then placing your left hand into the earth, slowly come back up into seated. Let the head and neck be heavy, eyes closed as you come up. And just find yourself a comfortable seated position. If you have a blanket, place a blanket underneath the hips or bolster. And just have that tall spine and relaxed body. So we're going to begin a practice that's a Pran Vayu meditation. And similar to what we were doing at the beginning of the practice here, we're going to visualize Pran as white light and see this white light all around you. And even if you're not a very visual person, you can just set the intention that you're seeing white light around you, and that's typically enough. Now, on your inhale, begin to draw that white light in through every single sense: eyes, ears, nose, mouth, skin. And then bring it into the head and absorb that prana into the brain as you hold the breath in. So seeing the third eye, the brain, even the skull, absorbing that light. Then when you need to exhale, you're going to let the white light leave the same way it came in. So through the eyes, ears, nose, mouth, skin. And that's it. We'll do it again. Inhale, drawing that white light in through all 5 senses: eyes, ears, nose, mouth, skin. Bringing that white light up into the area of the head. At the top of the inhale, hold the breath in and soak the brain, the third eye, skull, all in that white light. And just holding to your comfort level, so the minute you need to exhale, just letting that white light leave, same way it came in, through the eyes, ears, nose, mouth, and skin. Again, inhale, one more together. White light coming in, eyes, ears, nose, mouth, skin, take it to the head. Top of the inhale, hold and pause, and absorb more of that prana into the brain, the third eye, the pineal gland, all getting a bath of prana. And then when you need to exhale, you're just going to let that light leave the same way it came in, through the eyes, ears, nose, mouth, skin. Good. We're going to do 3 more. No strain during your holds. There's no rush, but when you finish that last one, keep your attention in the area of the head, seeing a sphere or ball of light there. Feeling rejuvenated, bring your hands to your heart. Bring your hands together and rub them to create some friction. Get them nice and warm. Really building the energy between the palms. And then when they feel good and warm, just gently cup the eyes. And just soak that extra prana there into the eye sockets, into the brain, all the delicate tissue, the nervous system. And then just slowly massage your way around the eyes and the cheeks and the jaw and the face. And then just bring the hands to the heart, bow your head to your hands, and just go back to the intention we set. And trust that we took what we could from that intention. We just let the rest go. Just feeling a little bit more absorption or capacity for absorption. And yet an internalized approach. Remembering to check in with the wisdom that is already held within you. So have a really wonderful weekend, and thank you for joining me. Namaste.